So the first part of building this challenge was creating the bones of the structure. And so if we look at the reference, you'll see that we have all these pieces flying and they settle into place. And here, once they settle into place, we can really easily deconstruct how these cells or these sections, these boxes were created. I started off by creating some black lines, and all these black lines that you see here were created with shape layers. So let's go ahead and go into our composition, and you'll see that here's the crux of the entire piece. And so let's go ahead and twirl down, and you'll see that inside my contents, I have a shape layer with multiple paths. And each one of these paths represents a line in my composition. So if I turn all these guys off, we're starting to break apart our cells, our sections. So I simply did that by adding in a new line with my pen tool. So I'll click and click again, and there you see I have a new path. And so once I broke these into pieces, into sections in this way, this served as the basis for everything else to come. These cells would be populated with more video or any other content. And if you twirl down here, let's see, that's the new shape I created. I'll delete that. But in the original grid, I've got a group of paths, and I optionally put in this trim paths in the event that I wanted to animate these individual strokes on, which could look pretty cool. That was an option in there. And lastly, all those paths feed into the stroke. And so without this effect, obviously, we're not going to get anything. And it's here that I can define whether it's black, whatever color I want, the stroke width. So if we wanted something a little larger or smaller, thinner, we had that option as well. So building out the black lines was definitely the first part of creating the bigger piece.